Hi everyone, welcome back to another video for Phantasy Star Portable 2 and Portable 2 Infinity. So today we're just going to continue the playthrough from last time where we'd gone to New Days and we've put down some of the mini bosses there, but we're just going to continue that part of the story now. So we're just going to jump straight back into it. So basically a load of creatures have swarmed inside this facility, which there's a huge subspace experiment going on at the moment, so it's imperative that nothing goes wrong to jeopardize that. So we've been sent to basically try and put down these creatures that have started invading. If only you could actually do that in game. So, and if you play PSU, you might recognize who you just saw. Yeah, we're part of the security detail that just ran away. Yeah, so this is Lumia, so if you played PSU, this was, I believe this was Ethan's younger sister, I believe. So she's now a full-fledged member of the Guardians. I like how you can tell now that Kraz has a bit more worry about Amelia. Yeah, Amelia just completely decided to just ignore Kraz completely and just do what she wants. So you can tell there is definitely a bit of tension between these two. And I think Amelia has mentioned previously about there's been a sort of an impression that she's not a huge fan of the Guardians for whatever reason.
私もついていくなんて一言も言ってないわよ。
You can just tell by the way she's talking, she's a bit sarcastic.
私たちが人助けをするの。ガーディアンズなんかに任せてたら誰一人救えないからね。
That's exactly what I mean. So there's obviously some history with Amelia and the Guardians that is not particularly fond.
意味のわからないことを。わかったわ。もっとあなたにも理解しやすく言ってあげる。
It's also quite clear that Lumia doesn't think too much of mercenaries either.
力のない人は去りなさい。
I mean, you can't spell it out much more than that, really.
ほら、本性が出た。ガーディアンズはいつもそう。上から目線よね。
So it looks like Amelia sees the Guardians as acting sort of high and mighty.
そういえば、ウェーバーってどこかで聞いたことあるなって思ったけど、ようやく思い出したわ。あの英雄、イーサン・ウェーバーでしょ。あんたはその関係者ってわけね。
Ethan mentioned.
どうせガーディアンズにいるのもイーサンの七光だったりするんでしょ。そんなのに実力どうこう言われたくないわ。
Yeah, Amelia is like punching down now.
兄さんは関係ない。私はルミアよ。お兄ちゃんは何の関係もない。
I'm just going to play it down the middle and just say calm down you two, because I don't think it's all on Amelia this.
あんたがそう言うなら。でもガーディアンズなんて最低な奴らなんだからね。
So it'll be interesting to see why Amelia has this opinion of the Guardians. I'm guessing we'll find that out a bit later.
今の話を聞いてても何が最低なのか僕にはわからないぞ。
Or maybe no?
あ、
Can I get the impression she's not going to tell us now?
すみません。私も少し取り乱しました。とにかくこのままでは拉致が開かないわ。私は一旦あなたたちに随伴する形で行動を共にし救出活動をすることとします。そこの女の子、これが妥協点。私が信用ならないというのならその間好きなだけ監視していなさい。
So I guess Lumia's kind of wanting to prove that she's doing nothing shady, and I suppose to prove that she's in the Guardians of her own merit and not just through her brother.
望むところよ。では決まりね。無駄に時間を消費してしまったし、急いで救出に向かいましょう。
I do like how we just stood here arguing for the last few minutes while people are trapped in the shelters. Doesn't look good for both organisations, really. So, do we have to defend these consoles, I'm assuming? So it looks like it's a kind of defense quest, which sounds great. Yeah, so the gauges have defense. This guy's just immediately eating towards it. I'm guessing these fences are used to put like a defensive barrier up, I would assume. I'm assuming you could probably only do that maybe once or twice. So it's a bit of a different mission for sure. Not one I'm particularly fond of. I've never been a big fan of defense questing games, honestly. I think the worst thing is it gives you a lot of enemies that kind of rush. I guess that's why they've done it, but... So a lot of these enemies will make a beeline straight for the targets. I'm using the twin handguns mainly here just because of their mobility. So we do have two computers at least, so we defended those ones by the looks of things. I'm going to guess that's probably not the last ones we have to defend. Okay, yeah, so those do put up fences. That's good to know. A very small fence, though. Okay, so on to the next ones. Yeah, I'm really not a big fan of these defense quests. I don't like how wide this room is as well, so there's a lot of scope for enemies to attack from different sides, like this. I can see there's some laser fences there though, so I'm assuming the switches will put the laser fences up if we need them. There is also ones on this side as well. I think the best strat here is probably not to stray too far from the centre. I'm just keeping an eye on the map as well so I can see that someone's just gone for the blue. I'm only using the charge shot a little bit because the charge shot does kind of root you in place for a little while, and I want as much mobility as I can. The other great thing about these twin handguns is they do kind of flinch enemies when you hit them with them. Okay, so now they're coming from straight forward. We've also got Kumars Lees now as well, which is a problem because they can teleport. Good news is they don't have that much HP. We do have our SUV ready, so if we get maybe some more Kumars Lees or something, I might use my SUV on those. I feel like Ranger is probably not a bad class for this, honestly. I can see there is something on blue again. Again, the reason I'm not using the charge shot is just because it does tend to lock you in place a bit, which for most content is fine, but for this I want as much mobility as possible so I can change targets if I need to. And also just a continued flinch from the normal shots is actually really useful. Yeah, these guys are really irritating because they actually attack really rapidly. So they actually break the defense barrier down quite fast. If it gets much lower, we'll put the fence up, I think. Particularly on the green side. For these guys, it doesn't really matter. Okay, that's another 2 defended. So I'm going to assume, what, rule of 3s? Maybe we do 3. This looks like a turret. So we'll use that if we get a lot of enemies. I'm going to assume we only get to use it once. And the good news is that these Gormons don't really rush things, they tend to attack from range, which means we can probably keep them at bay quite easily. The downside is their shots do quite a lot of damage, so I'm assuming they'll damage the towers quite a bit. The other problem is they put you to sleep like this, which in this game actually puts you to sleep for a long time. Tempted to use. Tell you what, we'll use that SUV here, I think. We'll charge it up pretty fast anyway. Honestly, this guy seems more content with attacking us rather than the actual defense terminals anyway, so. Yeah, twin handguns are really useful for this actually. Just the ability to stun lock things. Okay, that's another 2 defended. So I could have probably used the turret, honestly. I expected there to be a lot more enemies there. So unfortunately, no, we have more than 3. Okay, this is the final one apparently, so. Yeah, our SUV is charging really fast actually. So we do have another fence. We're getting quite a lot of experience in this actually as well. That's our 2nd level up. One slight annoying thing is that when you level up, the level up stat thing replaces the defense gauge. So you can't see the health on the defense gauge. Yeah, let's throw that fence up and see what it does. Okay, that's quite handy. We are getting buffed enemies now, so we do need to be a little bit careful because they will do more damage to the terminals. Honestly, that fence seems to recharge really quickly. This guy did just ignore it completely. Actually, yeah, the fence looks like it's pretty much spammable. See, it's recharging it already. Let's just throw that up just to try and stop some of them shooting through. do have our SUV ready, so if we get any more of the big guys spawn, we'll probably use it on those. Yeah, just the sustained flinch that we're getting from this is just fantastic for this. Okay, yeah, that's our cute SUV. There we go, that's those defended as well. The fact that there's a healing ring there, though, doesn't really bode well for us. I'm assuming we're gonna have a boss fight or something.
これで最後っと。はあ、なんとか装置は守れたかな。さあ、次は救助。
Yeah, so now we can focus on the rescue part of things.
不気味ね。この辺りにはもう原生生物の気配がないのに、どうしてみんな脱出しようとしないの？そんなんみんな急な襲撃で怖かったからに決まってるでしょ。閉じ込められるのってめちゃくちゃ怖いんだよ。知らないの？
Yeah, Amelia obviously has experience of being trapped from the relic site at the start of the game.
知っています。でも脱出したいけどできない事情があるとしたら、いえ、考えても仕方ないことね。
Instead of just like standing around talking about it, we could just go and see what the problem is.
要救助者はこの先にいるみたいだから勝手についてきなさい。そこではっきりするわ。あ、待ちなさい。ほら、私たちも追いかけるよ。ユウト、どうしたの？
嫌な風が吹いてるぞ。この奥からすごい強く。
See, its senses are kicking in again, so I'm guessing there's something nasty is waiting for us. Yeah, you know what I said about something nasty waiting for us?
アルテラツゴーグ、教団所有の実験生物がこんなところで暴れてるなんて最悪。
It doesn't quite hit the same without Lutz in PSU screaming Alterazgohg.
こいつがいたから誰も逃げ出せなかったってわけね。てか、すっごくヤバそう。一旦逃げた方が良くない？そうですね。あなたたちまで戦う必要はありません。任務は達成したはずです。去りなさい。
Lumia just doing the whole let me solo it. I can just go, yep, go on then.
私はガーディアンズです。目の前に助けを求めている人がいるのに逃げたりすることなんてできない。だからってそんな無茶な。
I mean, to be fair, Amelia, you did just see her take care of about 50 enemies at once at the start of this.
無茶でもやらなければならないんです。私は英雄イーさんの妹なんだから。このぐらいやって当然なんだから。
So it's quite clear that Lumia feels like she's living in the shadow of Ethan.
くせに。何をしてるの？早く逃げなさい。そりゃこんなの相手したくないけど、あんた一人だとみんなを放って逃げちゃうかもしんないしね。
You can sort of tell there's this like uneasy friendship forming between these two, even though they're from total rival organizations that really don't like each other much.
だから一緒に戦わせてもらうよ。あなた、口の減らない子。来るわよ。
Well, Alterazgohg time. Now, does this guy take any kind of damage from guns? He does a lot of damage. Also doesn't take much damage from guns. We kind of have to hit his head, which is one place I don't particularly want to be honest. We are just basically doing nothing. He's got the annoying thing that most dragons have in this game as well, which is that if he just kind of steps on you, it just pretty much kills you just from being near you. I did do a dodge roll there, but I guess it was a bit late. I'm having to be quite cautious here, to be honest, because he does hit really hard. Yeah, we'll stay out of the way of that. That certainly didn't kill him. Thankfully, they're only fairly low level, but he does hit really hard for his level. Nice, we've got S rank for it. It does beg the question of why a creature from the community of Goral was rampaging as well.
閉じ込められてた人々も無事のようね。怪我人もいるけど、助けは呼んでおいたから十分に間に合う。全員大丈夫よ。よかった。無理やり来ちゃったし、これで任務失敗しましたとかなったら、おっさんにどれだけ怒られるか。
And I thought to just immediately turn back to Kraz.
まあ、あなたが絡んでこなければ、もっと早くここまで来られたんだけどね。
Yeah, Lumia at this age, she does have a little bit of an attitude problem, a little bit of a superiority complex.
しであのでっかいのを倒せたと思ってるの？まあなんだ、そのガーディアンズにしては頑張ったと思うけど。
However, Amelia is also kind of the same at the minute as well.
あなた名前は？エミリアパーシバル。軍事会社リトルウィング所属の傭兵よ。私への文句や苦情は会社にどうぞ。
Yeah, I like how her first thought is immediately, yeah, if you want to put a complaint in, this is what you do.
エミリアね。それじゃあ私はここの事後処理があるから。最後まで愛想ないやつ助けたりしなきゃよかった。まあいっか。さあ私たちも帰ろう。
So still not much sort of inference of what the problem with the Guardians is for Amelia. I'm guessing we'll find a bit more about that later on. But there's clear that there's some kind of issue that Amelia has with the Guardians.
Hi 皆さんおかえりね。早速でごめんだけどチョチョさんとボスがお待ちよ。
Alright, so we're already getting called into Seacraz. But Amelia's thrilled about that.
それって私も行かなきゃダメ？
Yeah, she's already trying to get out of it.
エミリアは絶対に来なきゃダメ。みんな待ってるからね。はいはい行きますよだ。ルミアと言い合いしてたせいでむちゃくちゃなことを言ってたのを忘れてた。絶対に怒られるじゃん。それもおっさんとウルスラさんの二人がかりでさ。ああ、よりにもよって今日がこんな最悪の日になっちゃうなんてな。
You can tell that Amelia's got this sort of view of herself where she just assumes that people will be disappointed in her. So we do have a few people that want to talk to us as well, so we'll check those out. So it's like Lena. You are not Lena. Kurt's just looking like a straight up Gundam at this point. Yeah, I'm skipping through this because Kurt is basically an instructor that tells you basic things about the game. So he's got a lot of different tutorials. You do get some items for doing these, but they're generally not worth doing, honestly.
あたいが海賊だった頃の話を聞きたいって？おう、そうだ。海賊って何をするんだ？教えてくれ、リーナ。あんまり人に話すようなことでもないけど、まあいいか。もう過去のことだしね。
Yeah, so obviously Lena used to be a pirate in the days of PSU.
あたいは昔海賊、いやローグスって呼ばれてたんだ。ローグス。ローグスっていうのはね、特定の集団や組織の名前じゃなく、ならず者の総称みたいなもんかな。モトゥブや周辺の小衛星を根城にして非合法な商いとかカジノとか悪どいことを稼ぎにしてるんだ。じゃあリーナもそういう悪いことをやってたのか？
You've got this kind of very sort of black and white view of the world at the moment, so you know, the very sort of stereotypical good guy, bad guy. I guess a lot of this is because of his cash upbringings and that he was kind of isolated from the outside world to an extent.
昔はね、タイラーファミリーの一員として随分いろいろとやったかな。
タイラーファミリーってなんだ？
モトゥブのローグスをまとめてるドン・タイラーが率いていた一味だよ。その仲間たちには血はつながっていないけど家族みたいな結束があるんだ。それでファミリー。
Again, if you play PSU, you're probably familiar with Tyler.
部族みたいなものなのか。
そうね。部族の者は皆家族のカーシュ族の感覚で言えば間違いではないかな。
その海賊っていうのは人を襲ったりもしたのか。
タイラーファミリーの信条は裏切らず無駄に殺さず貧しき者から奪わず。
So the Tyler family is almost like the Phantasy Star version of Robin Hood.
必要でなければそういうことはしなかったけど、必要だったら何のためらいもなくやったよ。あたいたちは他に生き方を知らなかったの。そうやってしか生きていけなかった。
じゃあなんで海賊をやめられたんだ？
それはね、いろいろなものに触れてあたいたちがみんな他の生き方に気づけたからだよ。アルフォート・タイラーはドン・タイラーとなり、そしてあたいはリーナ・リマとなり。
Yes, I'm guessing that's a simple way of saying that her meeting Tonio kind of changed how she was. Because I believe in PSU she was called, I think she was called Lena Sakia. Or something similar to that.
生きるための道ってのは一つじゃない。ユウトもせっかくカーシュ族以外のものを見る機会を得たんだし、いっぱい学びな。
I guess she's kind of drawn the similarities in her life between her and Ute. You know, living one particular way for a long time and then having a chance to experience something else.
カーシュ族に戻るにせよ出るにせよ、今の経験や人との触れ合いってのは絶対に役に立つはずだよ。
他の生き方。
ま、今はあんまり悩まずにエミリアたちと一緒にいればいいじゃない。それだけでも勉強になるはずさ。
おお。
So it looks like also Kuno wants to speak to us as well.
ガーディアンズの者と共同で任務。それはまた貴重な経験をしたな。何せガーディアンズは警察権限も持つほどの組織だ。与えられる任務も相応に厳しいものとなる。
Okay, so the Guardians are actually kind of acting as the police now as well. I don't know if they were ever like that in PSU or not, or if they were just more of a organization. But it does look like they've got actual genuine power behind them now.
それと肩を並べて任務を完遂したのは誇っていいことだと私は思うぞ。彼らの仕事ぶりには見習うべきことが多い。ガーディアンズなしではシード事変を乗り切ることはできなかったのも事実。
So again, she's referencing the events of PSU here.
だがガーディアンズだけではシード事変を乗り切れなかったのもまた事実だ。
同盟軍、ローグス、グラール教団など多くの組織が協力したからこそ今の平和がある。そしてガーディアンズではできないこともまた多くある。だから私たちのような存在が必要なのだ。
I think what she's hinting at here is that because the Guardians have this really big reputation now because of their involvement with repelling the seed in PSU, there are certain things that they can't really be associated with now. So a lot of these sort of down and dirty tasks that we've been doing with Little Wing, the Guardians sort of couldn't be seen doing because it would affect their reputation. Whereas for us, we're just a mercenary group, so we can kind of get away with it. Anyone else want to speak to us? Looks like Tonio's got a word for us as well.
ああ、ガーディアンズのことを教えてほしいって？そりゃ話すのは構わねえが、俺の覚え方は割と適当だから全部合ってるかどうかわからねえぞ。ガーディアンズってのはグラール太陽系最大規模の惑星間警護組織だ。で、ガーディアンってのはその実動要員な。
Yeah, so they are just a huge security organization, which is kind of similar to how they worked in PSU, honestly, but I think they've got a much bigger status now.
基本的には14歳以上で健康であれば性別や種族を問わず誰でも入隊可能。
It is kind of insane that anyone 14 or older can be a Guardian. Literal child warfare in Phantasy Star.
まあ、犯罪歴のある俺が入隊できてるってのがいい例だな。
It's interesting though that they still take on people with criminal records, considering they're portrayed as this sort of high and mighty organization. The fact that they take on people with criminal records, that kind of is at odds with that.
まず訓練校に入学して3ヶ月の訓練期間。その後、訓練教官のつく実地研修を受ければ一人前のガーディアンとして任務に就くことができる。組織の構成は各惑星に派遣され依頼を執行する機動警護部、特定エリアを警護する常駐警護部、極秘調査を行う総合調査部、他には総合研究部なんかがある。
It's quite interesting reading this because it gives you a really good idea of how the Guardians operates.
俺は元部で常駐警護部をやってたんだ。とまあ基本的にはこんなところだろ。もっと詳しいことが知りたきゃ現役のやつに聞いてくれよ。
So obviously Tonio was in the Guardians, but has obviously left them since. So let's check in with Amelia.
ユートを見てるとつくづく思うけど、カー種族ってあんな原始的な生活をよくこの時代まで続けていたよね。
別に何も知らなかったわけじゃないぞ。時々エミリアたちみたいな人も紛れ込んでくることがあったからな。ただそういう文明的なものっていうのは僕たちをダメにするって言われてたし、誰も欲しがらなかっただけだぞ。
Yeah, the impression I get is that the Cash were just kind of happy to just live the way they lived and weren't really concerned with the outside world. They acknowledged that there was more to the world than just the Cash village, but they just didn't want to sort of be a part of any of it.
紛れ込むって、そういえば今のカー種族にはいろんな種族がいるんだよね。最初ってどうだったのかな。
最初はヒューマンだけだったって長老が言ってたぞ。でも後から他の種族も入ってきた。
that makes sense because it depends when the tribe was formed, but I know typically in Phantasy Star games quite often the other races outside of humans are usually artificially created by humans, so that would kind of make sense. I'm assuming it's the same in Graal.
今でもそうだ。ふらふらっと集落にたどり着いて、そしてそのままカー種族として集落に落ち着くんだ。今の長老になってからはキャストのカー種族も増えてきたぞ。
ユートみたいなことをしてるキャストって全然想像つかない。
でもそんな種族の違いなんて僕たちには関係ないぞ。みんな家族だからな。
Yeah, I guess the impression I get from the way they live is that they don't really care where you're from, as long as you follow their teachings, they're happy.
そっか。しかし迷い込んでそのままってカー種族の集落っていうのはそんなに居心地いいものなの？
僕にとってはそうだ。でもきっとエミリアも気に入ると思うぞ。
確かに居心地は悪くなさそう。第一変なところだったりしたらあんたみたいのは育たないでしょ。
おう、みんな優しくてあったかいからな。エミリアも一度来てみるといい。
Yeah, Amelia just gonna leave Little Wing and join the cache instead.
確かに一度は行ってみたいな。まあ私には帰る家があるから居つく気はないけどさ。
It's nice to get a little sort of bond in between Amelia and Ute. So I'm guessing that we need to go and see Kraz next, right? Yeah, so we're going to go to the CEO's office. I think I'm going to call that video there for today, though. So in the next episode, we'll go into the CEO's office and see what's going to happen there, whether we're going to get chewed out or whether they're going to be happy with us, and find out what's going on. Try and figure out what's going on with all these monsters going berserk as well. Yeah, we'll leave it on there. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking, subscribing, or joining as a member. Again, just as a reminder, this PSP2 series goes live to members initially, so it will go live to members on a Monday, and then usually on the Wednesday it will go live to everyone else. So if you want to be one of the first ones to see this series, feel free to join as a member. But don't worry if you can't, you can still see it on the Wednesday. You can follow me on Twitch at Section Skylight, where I'm hoping to do some streams at some point this week. We also do a YouTube stream every Sunday, and you can also follow me on X at Section Skylight as well. We also have a Discord that you can join to hang out with the community and play Phantasy Star games, so feel free to join us over there as well. Yeah, hope you're enjoying the series so far, and see you guys in the next one.